All right, and we're back. The vise is now fixed. Here she is, back with our piece just where we had left off. Got a couple more tabs to bend. Should be a little bit easier now that we strengthened this beast. Added some foot pegs down below, so now we should be able to have something to stand on while we're wrenching on this thing. Definitely beefed up the welds too. If you want some more details, I made a brief video showing what we did there. Alright, so we're going to take a quick break from bending our tab and try to focus on figuring out what this angle has to be. If you have the right tools, you can always use an angle finder, but this is every man's garage, so we're doing it the hard way. First thing you're going to want to do is take your piece here. As you can see, it's falling apart as we speak. We're going to lay it out on our cardboard, and as you can see, I traced from where the piece ends and then just along this side for placement, and a line across the top. The main thing we're concerned with is marking out where our bend starts. Now for us, we didn't actually start down here, but if you look at this side, we actually started right here. We have it marked out. It's a little bit back from the bend, but we're not really going with this large sweeping bend. We're just doing a straight shot. Alright, so we drew a point below where our bend was. This is going to be the bottom of our bend. And then right here, this is where the bend ends. We just had enough cardboard there. But we went 2 1/8 inches down. If you remember from earlier, that's how tall we're making our channel over there. So what we'll end up doing is trying to find this angle, and with our speed square, we got to match up the word pivot with our pivot. And we'll run the top of the speed square along the bottom of the line that we set, parallel to this one. And bada bing, bada boom. It looks like right about 24 degrees. Alright, so we already started bending our piece. So what we're going to do is rely on this nice little line that we scribed earlier for our bend, and we're gonna set our pivot right here because this is gonna be the same angle as that. So if we take our triangle or our speed square and just barely set it in there, we should be able to catch the metal. Yep, there it is. Alright, and if we look, it looks like we are just a few degrees short. So we'll bend that by hand real quick and see how it looks. And there you have it. So we got the angle we were looking for. The next thing we have to do is build a little gusset plate that will help fill and strengthen right here. We'll just weld it a few inches back and tie it into this. If we look at our existing piece, it does look like it stretches past a little bit, so maybe we'll try to copy that. Also, a quick note for any of you that don't have a speed square, you can always just use this piece of cardboard that you made the line for. You won't get that number, but you can cut this out and then just use this little piece right here to basically cut your piece of metal. we'll probably end up doing that to make our gusset. Alright, so we're steadily making progress on our bends here. One of the things I never accounted for when I cut these little grooves, as you can see, is the width of my vise. So now, getting towards the end, I want to clean these up a little bit. So what I'm going to do, marked it out, measure the width of the vise. This one is 4.5 inches. And then make sure that I have enough room for these tabs. So from here to here should be 4.5 inches. And then from this to this line should be 4.5 inches. That way I don't have to deal with any more of these little burrs, which I can bend it, but at this point it's just easier to cut it off, considering that's just a tab for me to weld to. Our next step is going to be building our gusset. As you can see, I cut out our little cardboard template here. Good thing about this is that we should be able to use it for both sides. One thing that I did was add little tails on either side, and this will allow me to weld back onto my channel on both sides. This piece not being made yet, but some of you may be wondering what I've been using for metal, and it's just some generic red iron. I believe this was pulled off of somebody's pole barn. I think I'm going to save this piece though, because I have this little gem over here from a lawnmower, and it's a slightly thicker gauge metal, and I think that'll work well for our gussets. So we cut out our gusset. It is a little bit oversized, which we did that intentionally, and it's really just for the fact that it's easier to remove material than it is to add it. So we marked out roughly where our channel lies on top. You can see our little pivot point here. The top of our piece is right here. That's just for positioning, but this is right about where the bend will be when we get to it on this. And we have to do a little bit of trimming on our channel, and we're gonna have to drill quite a few holes to throw our welds into. But I think we'll get to that on the next video. For now, y'all have a good night, and thanks for watching Every Man's Garage.